This week we had a report from our Deputy Political Editor Chris Bramwell asking if New Zealand should follow Australia's lead and ban unvaccinated children from childcare centres and preschools. In Australia, Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria require children to be immunised to enrol in childcare centres. There's a push for it to become nationwide, and one of the people pushing hardest is Catherine Hughes. Her baby boy Riley died aged 32 days from whooping cough. He would have been immunised, but he was too young.
Absolutely. We have an older daughter and she was completely vaccinated, and Riley was due for his vaccines at 6 weeks, but unfortunately he was in that really vulnerable window when babies don't receive any vaccines, and he contracted whooping cough and passed away before he had a chance to be protected. When Riley was dying, I just had this overwhelming feeling that it was wrong, and that in 2015, in a country as fortunate as Australia, our kids shouldn't be dying from diseases that can be so easily prevented by a needle. And, that thought has never gone away. I just think it's not right. These kids deserve protection. They have a right to a healthy, long life. So I'll do anything, whether it's, fundraising or raising awareness through social media or speaking to politicians, anything I can to really encourage parents to vaccinate.
And how do you incentivise people who are either opposed to vaccines for whatever reason or completely unaware of them or indifferent to them to get their child vaccinated?
It's a really, really complex issue, and I don't think there's one answer to it. I think you've got a group of parents who are hesitant about vaccination. They might have heard this, they might have heard that. They've got concerns for different reasons, and I think the main way to really encourage them to vaccinate is to share stories with them, to let them know what can happen, to children like Riley and many other children who have died from these horrific diseases. I actually speak to a lot of those kind of parents at pregnancy expos that I travel to, and I just try and put them in touch with experts who can really answer the more difficult questions. But then you've got the vaccine objectors, the ones that just completely refuse to vaccinate, usually based on all sorts of misinformation that they've been fed from a whole range of different alternative health industries. And that's more difficult. And in Australia, we are examining the introduction of a policy to ensure that all children who enrol at childcare centres must be vaccinated.
So this is the no jab, no play laws, right? And some states have actually already introduced them at state level. But what Malcolm Turnbulls is looking at is a kind of nationwide law around this. And you very strongly support that, don't you?
I do. I'm really hopeful that this kind of policy will just help protect the vulnerable babies in childcare who haven't yet completed their scheduled vaccinations. But I'm hopeful that it will protect the children of parents who have been worried about vaccines, who haven't been vaccinating, and I hope it's, the policy they need to get those poor kids vaccinated.
That's Catherine Hughes, who lost her boy Riley because he wasn't old enough to get immunised against whooping cough. She now campaigns for immunisation to be a requirement to get kids into preschool in Australia. It is in some states. It's going nationwide. Support from Malcolm Turnbulls. Interestingly, Catherine says she still gets terrible abuse from the anti-immunisation community. Really nasty stuff.